Your phone lights up with an incoming call, and before you even see who it is, your whole body tenses. You stare at the screen, heart rate picking up, brain scrambling. What do they want? What am I supposed to say? Watch it ring? Maybe hover over accept? Let it time out while you mentally rehearse a conversation that never happens. 5 minutes later, you're calmly typing a detailed, perfectly worded text to the exact same person. Thoughtful, funny, clear. You can text for hours. But the idea of saying those same words out loud in real time feels weirdly overwhelming. Somewhere in the back of your mind you wonder, why does a simple phone call feel this intense for me when I'm clearly not afraid of talking? If that sounds uncomfortably familiar, what your brain is doing in those few ringing seconds is something most people like you never get told. It might completely change how you see this weird habit. Of course, everyone around you seems to think it's simple. Just pick up. It's not that serious. You're being childish. You're so bad at communication. Maybe a boss, parent, or a friend has called you unprofessional or immature because you let calls go and reply by text instead. You laugh it off. I just hate phone calls. But underneath, there's that little stab of shame. Other adults just answer. Why do I freeze? You watch people casually answer unknown numbers, chat on speaker, handle calls on the go like it's nothing. Meanwhile, a ringtone can spike your anxiety more than a long email ever could. You start to wonder, am I lazy? Socially anxious? Broken somehow? Most people like you stop there and blame themselves. That's only because no one has ever explained what phone calls demand from your brain that texting doesn't. What most people don't realize is that hating phone calls doesn't automatically mean you're bad at communication. Often it means your brain is built for asynchronous communication, not real-time performance. A call forces you to listen, process, and respond instantly. No pause, no edit, no time to find the right words. For a deep processing, sensitive, or anxious nervous system that feels like being thrown on stage without a script, texting, on the other hand, lets you think first and respond second. You control the timing, the wording, even when the interaction starts and stops. You're not afraid of talking. You're better at talking when your brain has room to breathe. Once you understand that difference, your call anxiety starts to look a lot less like immaturity and a lot more like wiring. Here's what your brain is quietly juggling on a call. First, there's processing load. In a few seconds, you're taking in tone, speed, word choice, background noise, your own thoughts, and what you'll say next. There's no rewind, no reread. If you're a deep thinker or easily overloaded, that real-time juggling feels heavy. Your mind wants one thing at a time, not 5 at once. Then there's control and predictability. When you answer, you don't know how long it will last, what direction it will go, or when you'll get to hang up. With text, you control pace and timing. You can reply when your energy is right, not when a ringtone demands it. For a nervous system that likes to feel prepared, that control feels like safety. There's also a subtle performance pressure. On a call, you're managing your voice, your pauses, your ums, worrying if you sound weird or rude. Over text, you're judged more on what you say than how you sound saying it. Most people only see you hate calls. They don't see the instant spike in processing, loss of control, and performance anxiety your brain is reacting to. The question now is, how do you work with that wiring without letting it box your life in? The point isn't to shame yourself into loving phone calls. Your dislike of them is a real reflection of how your brain processes and protects itself. That's valid. At the same time, life sometimes does require a caller doctor, a job, someone you care about. Instead of forcing yourself to just get over it, you can work with your wiring. Jot a few bullet points before you dial. Set a mental time limit. Ask, is now a good time? Or gently say, can we text about this?
Yeah.
When it's not urgent. You're not bad at communication. You're a thoughtful, synchronous communicator whose brain does its best work with a tiny bit of space. If this felt like someone just exposed your entire relationship with calls and texts, you're not alone. Subscribe and stay close if you want more videos that decode patterns like this without shaming you. And tell me in the comments whether you're team call or team text, because next, we're diving even deeper into how minds like yours are built to communicate differently in a world that rarely admits it.